My man Czar make tracks like this.
What's going on, y'all? So a lot of you have asked for my opinion on the Mojave MA-50 versus the Vanguard V4. So what I have here is a shootout on vocals between those two mics, and I'm also adding the Roswell Delphos II into the shootout since, like the V4 and the Mojave MA-50, they're all transformerless mics. So let's quickly talk about each mic, starting with the Delphos II. Now, the Delphos II has all three polar patterns, cardioid, figure eight, and omni, and it also has a pad. The Vanguard V4 has all three polar patterns. It also has a pad and has a high pass filter on it. The Mojave MA-50, no pad, no polar patterns. It's just cardioid only. And with the performance here, this isn't a I don't have all three microphones set up where it's one performance going through all three mics. So this is three separate performances on each microphone. No processing. All I have is just a little bit of reverb on the vocal and a little bit of reverb on the keyboards. The keyboards was just ran DI into my mic take pre. So we're hearing the mics on just the vocal. And the mic pre that we used was the Empirical Labs mic E. So let's take a listen and then we'll discuss. So this is a singer-songwriter named Coretta King, a talented keyboard player as well, and she's got a very soulful voice, so I figured that it would be great to see how she sounds over these different microphones on a piano ballad and, really help me to take a deep dive and really look at the differences between these three microphones and how they sound. So I've got 4 tracks here. The top track is going to be the keyboard, the green track. The blue is the Delphos, the red is the V4, and the one below that is the MA-50. So I'm going to play this and let it loop, and I'm going to go through each of the microphones. We're going to start with the Delphos 2.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see.
And now starting back with the Delphos, I'm going to play just this phrase here and quickly go through the 3 mics.
And the land is dark, and the land is dark, and the land is dark.
Okay, now I'm going to move to just a part where she gets louder here so you can hear just how these mics take, some SPL here. Starting back again with the Delphos.
So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand by me, stand by me. So darling, darling, won't you stand by me, stand by me.
And lastly, I'll go through another loud phrase, just a short loud phrase, and quickly go between the mics. Starting again with the Delphos.
And darling, darling, stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me.
So now that we've heard all three mics, let's discuss this. So we're going to start with the Delphos 2. I felt that the Delphos slightly edged out the V4 as far as clarity. I felt it just had a hair more clarity, and that might be due to the high sensitivity of the Delphos 2. When I tracked this, I only had to use 20 dB of gain on the preamp with the Delphos 2. With the V4 and MA-50, I had to use 30 dB to get it to level match and come closer in levels. So that might have something to do with the clarity that I'm hearing in the Delphos 2, but I do feel that of the three mics, it had the most clarity. I also feel like the Delphos had the flattest frequency response of them all, and the Delphos 2 starts to roll off at 16K, which gives it a little bit of a vintage tone to me. The V4 had more low mids, but also had more of a high end extension. It was a little brighter, a little more open. The Mojave MA-50 sounded a little cloudy to me. It was the least as far as clarity, and the MA-50 has a very unique tone to me, where the low mids are just always so smooth with it. But as far as for her voice, I say the MA-50 was the one I liked the least, just because kind of the cloudiness I felt like I was hearing. Overall, I think they all sounded good. If I had to pick one that I would say would be the best for her voice, in my opinion, I think I would say the Delphos 2, just because of that little edge of clarity I was getting. I like the low mids that the V4 was getting, but for this particular song and this style, I think that I would want to not have as much low mids there. So, of course, I could do a cut in the low mids and EQ that out, but I'm just thinking of just straight what I recorded here if I didn't have to EQ or change anything. I think I would go with the Delphos 2, which really is a hard choice versus the V4, because I do like the openness and the high end that I'm getting from the V4. So I think it really comes down to a preference thing. But for this song and style, I think that I prefer the flatter response of the Delphos 2. And both the Delphos 2 and V4 handled SPL really well when she started to get loud. The Mojave, I didn't like I don't know, it was almost like a little harshness. I don't know if I even really want to call it harshness, but I didn't like what I was getting when she got loud on those parts through the Mojave. And just overall, I think me and Coretta just decided that the Mojave wasn't a good fit for her voice, which is fine. Every microphone isn't going to fit everyone. She did like the V4 and Delphos the best out of the three. So looking at the price of all three of these mics, the Delphos 2 is $899, the V4 is $395, and the MA-50 is $495. So like I said in the beginning, a lot of y'all have asked for my thoughts between the V4 and the MA-50, since they're more closer in price. Between the two, if I would have to choose, I would go with the V4, because one, it has more features. It's got you get a pad, filter, and all three polar patterns, where the Mojave, you just get just cardioid. So that's between those two. Between the Delphos and V4, as we've heard, there are different microphones here, and you're getting a different sound from both of them. The Delphos is more expensive, but I feel like it has a little more clarity, but at 395, it's really hard to beat what you get with the V4 as far as its quality and sound. But back to the MA-50, because of what it does to the low mids, I really like the MA-50 on rap vocals. If you have something that, or a voice that's, boomy, a lot of low mids, I really like what the MA-50 does to the low mids overall. So there's my thoughts of all three of these microphones on her voice per se. But comment, let me know what you think. Let me know which one you prefer on her voice. Any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time.